Thank you. Good to know. Um, First off, thank you very much for joining us. We're looking forward to an exciting weekend at Camp Decorah. We just went through two really incredible SPSA sessions, and the staff is geared up and continue it. What we're going to cover tonight is our check-in and arrival details. Patrick will give you a schedule walkthrough. We'll talk health and safety, campsite overview, and then answer any questions that you have.
So starting with the check-in process, we have set the 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock window. We prefer that you come towards the 3 o'clock window because if we front load that, we will be able to get the majority of people then through swim checks and our safety demonstrations if you would like to use the ranges at any point in time during the week. You can come all the way up until 5 o'clock. However, I definitely don't recommend it because 5:30 is when we are going to be doing our flags and to get ready for our uniform and make sure that we've got everything with getting you settled into your campsites and that initial health form, etc. screening process. We recommend coming in earlier. When you come, park your car in the north lot. This is the dirt parking lot, not the paved one. And we will have someone there to walk you to the Doll Dining Hall to check in. We'll give you some brief instructions, check you in, and then you'll be able to drive up to your campsite to put all of your gear in your campsite. I'll have guides there posted so that they can answer any questions that you would have. I think that's everything on this slide. Yeah, check in with Doll Hall first.
And one thing to add too is once you drop off your equipment at the campsite, we want you to bring your vehicle back down and park it in the parking lot because just out of safety issue and procedures, we don't want the vehicles up in the campsites.
Thank you, Kelly. So as I said with the check-in process, we've got that unpacking process time, visiting pool for a swim check, and the shooting sports safety demonstration most likely is going to be at Doll. So then that way, as soon as that is done, you can come straight to the flag poles. We'll point that out during the orientation where we will have our evening flag ceremony hosted by our staff, and then we'll go right inside for dinner. At 6:30, we'll have our adult meeting. So we'll talk about communication. I'll introduce you to each of my area directors. And in the meantime, the scouts are just going to have fun playing gaga ball, kickball, 9-up, just getting them out so they don't have to see the boring meeting. We've got an opening camp show then at the Fire Bowl after that. This will be everyone involved. We've got some great skits planned for you. It's going to be excellent. Finally, after that's done, and it will not last until 10 o'clock, but that usually gets done at about 8:15-ish or so. Then we will dismiss you to your campsites. 10 o'clock is the time that we want you to be lights out and people going to sleep. That's because starting the next morning, if you want to, at 6:30, there's a polar bear swim that will meet at the waterfront. To do that, my aquatic staff will take care of that. 7:45 is when everyone else meets for opening flags and breakfast at the Doll Dining Hall. Again, we're going to meet at the flag poles and then come in. From 9 o'clock through 11 o'clock, we've got adventure pins, and you'll notice we've got 4 different tracks here. That's on purpose. We do offer different programming, so then that way track A and B are going to be the same but rotated on schedule. C and D are going to be the same but rotated which activity is when. If you come back next year and you were in the A-B track, you'll see that the C-D track will have different belt loops than were in the A-B track so that you can attend this both years. At 11 o'clock, we've got a camp-wide activity planned for our Camp Marvelous theme. That's going to be a blast. And then we're meeting back at the flagpoles at 12:30 to go in for lunch. The Scout is reverent, as we say in Scouts BSA. So we will have a chapel service right after that. And at which point we're going to let them loose, not entirely, but we've got the ranges are going to be open. The waterfront's going to be open for fishing. Pool is going to be open for swimming and I believe climbing or zip line. I'm not sure which, but I'll talk to my climbing director. Whenever they're done at one of these activities, they can go to the other at their own pace. Utilizing the buddy system will keep everyone accounted for. This is that great transition between Cub Scouts and Scouts BSA where they get to actually discover what they can do and want to do on their own. After that open programming, flags and dinner. And for the evening, we're going to split between your 4th grade, your Webelos, and your Arrow of Light Scouts, the ones that are crossing over into Scouts BSA, hopefully come this fall. Excuse me, it's not this fall, this spring. We will, at 7:30 would be when we gather everyone back. Go back to campsites. The Webelos who are not in the Arrow of Light will be going back to their original campsites, but the Arrow of Light Scouts are actually going to sleep overnight in the commissioner's area. And then again at 10 o'clock, nights out. Starting on Sunday, then also we've got that 6:30 a.m. polar bear swim. If you could switch to the next slide there, please. 6:30 as well. Then on Sunday, these are optional activities. At 7:45, we've got opening flags again. This is going to look just like it did on Saturday morning. We've got those 9 o'clock morning pin rotations going through until 11, at which point we're going to have an awards ceremony. We'll pack up after we're done with that. And finally, we end with lunch, leaving everyone, after the award ceremony, then we'll pack up from your campsites, go ahead and bring vehicles up to grab stuff and bring them back down. Then 12:30, we've got a lunch and a send off for you.
One quick note, if everybody could please let us know which track your scouts are looking to be in, A, B, C, or D. That would help us be best prepared for you when you arrive on Friday. If you could send a note to either put something in the chat here this evening, or you can send a note to campdecorawi@gmail.com, and I'll put that in the chat here shortly.
Also, one thing to pass along is if you're not familiar with Decorah, the commissioner's area is right in the center of camp. If you walk up the hill from the pool, you see your left-hand side. That's where the Arrow Lights are going to be camping. So basically, they'll be camping right next to their campsites.
Here you have information on the slide about what program rotation you should select. So you can keep your entire, if you have multiple scouts from a unit, you can keep everybody together if you wish, or you can split them up. It's completely up to you and what you think is going to best meet the needs of your families. Reminder to bring your health form with. Parts A and B need to be filled out, so that does not require a doctor's signature. But every single person coming to camp, so parents, adults, siblings, scouts, they all need that. You as a parent can disperse medication, but you do need to check that in at the medical office upon arrival on Friday. And if there's any food allergies or medical concerns, you can let us know in the chat, or you can connect offline and send us an email with that as well. The campsite assignments, those will be made on Friday as well. So again, very important that you check in at the dining hall first so that we can tell you which campsite to proceed to. But we've got a relatively tight footprint. We'll be using the campsites Winnebago, Chippewa, Cherokee, Blackfoot. Couple of reminders here per BSA protocol. You as a parent can only share a cabin with your own child. The other recommendation is for scouts to share a cabin together, and that helps get them ready for the Scouts BSA experience, at which point they always are sharing a tent or a cabin with other scouts rather than their parents. But that's up to you based on the comfort of your family. We'll try to watch for any groups of 3 or 4. If there's a family attending with multiple children or multiple parents, we'll try and watch for that on the registration and assign you to a tent cabin of 4 people rather than a 2-person cabin. But if you know right now that that's your specific situation, you can communicate it in the chat, or in an email after this meeting, and that'll help us make sure that we're ready for that for you. Also, a reminder that the cabins do not have mattresses in them, so it's a cot that's provided. So you're going to want to bring your own pad, air pad, foam, heavy sleeping bag or blanket or hammock to give yourself additional comfort. Got a picture here of the mini cabins. Again, reminder, no mattress. And then finally, a packing list. This also is found in the leader's guide that was part of that email that was sent out on Friday, but some things to, things that are allowed and some other things that we cannot accommodate at Camp Decorah. Patrick or Kelly, do you want to address tents for that overnight Arrow of Light camp out at Commissioners? What's our tent expectation or situation?
Yeah, we'll be able to provide tents for the Arrow of Light kids that'll be camping over in Commissioners area. You're more than welcome to bring your own, but if you don't, we can find you one.
Just so everybody, if you've got an Arrow of Light Scout, plan to bring your own tent, or you can, we'll be able to provide one for you as well.
Is that for all of the boys crossing over in February?
So yes, if they're going for their Arrow of Light award, generally this would be for those who are in 5th grade and are planning on crossing over in February. Yes.
Okay, so all 6 of our boys would be a part of that then. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we're trying to create a little bit of differentiation between the kids that are attending the camp, between 4th graders and 5th graders, knowing that as the kids get ready for Scouts BSA, especially, there's different program experiences based on age. So this helps get everybody ready for that. But it should be a really neat opportunity. Parents of those Arrow of Light Scouts are encouraged to camp overnight with us in the Commissioners area as well if they're in attendance.
Okay. When we check in, we'll get more information on that.
Yeah, in terms of the specific location and the time to be there and everything, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Are there other questions from the group at all that we can answer?
This is Kim from PAC 77, West Salem. We have 4 scouts coming, 3 of which are Arrow of Light Scouts and 1 is a 4th grader. Will it be okay if the 4th grader does the camp out overnight so they don't have to be alone back at the cabins?
Yes, absolutely. We can accommodate that.
Okay, I had talked to Christy and that's what she thought, but I just wanted to make sure. Thanks.
Yep, and then we also got your campsite request that you had made through Laurel, Kim, so we're planning to accommodate that as well.
Okay, great, thanks.
Are there other questions or special concerns or needs that anybody has? So PAC 77, we're looking for everybody to be on track CD. Or 22, you're looking for AB. Well, the email that you received for tonight's meeting, you can use that to get back in touch with any of the 3 of us, Kelly, Patrick, or myself, and we'll be glad to answer any questions prior to Friday evening's camp, and hope that you and your scouts are excited for what's going to be a great couple days.
Also, just real quick, Joe, if you have any allergies or dietary requirements, please let us know at check-in, or if you can let us know beforehand, that'd be great too. So we have a Janet in the kitchen that can plan that.
Very good. We're going to stop the recording, and then if anybody wants to stay in for final questions, they certainly can, or we will see you all on Friday.